This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Welcome in here. It's the A-Cuff House Studio on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza, where over the weekend, Charlie Mattos, he was there to host. Kelly Sutton, we got a new Opry sibling.
I know. Congratulations, Stephen Curtis Chapman.
And you got all the details coming up here.
We've got video, too. Stay tuned for that.
And a little later on this morning, Walker Montgomery is coming to see us this hour. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. I said it earlier on radio as you joined us on television. 58 years ago when they got together and became the Nitty Gritty Dirt, the Jug Band originally was the name, at McCabe's in Long Beach, California. They had no idea they were in for a life sentence. They are still farewell touring and making a couple of stops in Nashville this week. And Jeff Hanna will join us. His wife is among a trio of women, Gretchen Peters and Susie Boggess, the others, Wine, Women, and Song, they call themselves. They're going to open for the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
How fun is that night going to be?
You're on your farewell tour and your wife is a part of the opening act, huh?
And it's at the Ryman?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's even
nights.
better. That's
2 nights, Thursday and Friday of this week. You and I are making it official. Thursday night, we will flip the switch, and the Grand Ole Opry and the Opryland Complex, a country Christmas celebration, the lighting ceremony, makes it official, and we're doing that at just at sunset on Thursday this week.
I drove in this morning, and they had the lights on, so they're testing them.
Yeah.
And I took a little video. I've been keeping people updated. You know, usually I would post videos throughout, like when they started wrapping the trees, but we're not over there anymore. We're in our new home, so I didn't get to see the whole process this time. Right. But I just took a little video and I said, it's happening, and I sent it out. So
and then Wednesday of this week is the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame Gala, the annual event.
It's a big day. Yeah. Wednesday's a big day.
Yeah, and well, big week actually to start the month of November. And Election Day, of course, is tomorrow across these United States. What are you working on?
Well, coming up, we're going to tell you more about Stephen Curtis Chapman. He is now our new Opry brethren. We've got him in there. Also, I think that this is fantastic. It's Luke Bryan and a 9-year-old tractor expert going head to head.
What I'm talking about.
It's the most precious. I love this kid. I've been following him on Instagram, and he truly is 89, but in a 9-year-old's body. So he's had years and years of experience.
Does he have a brand loyalty?
Yes, he does. And you'll find out about that. That's coming up. Okay. And Willie Nelson just released another studio album, his 76th solo project.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSN.
Well, you can sure stumble on a lot of hidden gems when you go to tntrailsandbyways.com. That is the idea. Stand out on the scenic route. Get off the beaten path. Charlie Mattos, where you want to take them this morning? Any place in particular?
Well, I'm going to take them to the website because I absolutely love the TN Trails and Byways website. Whether you're a Nashvilleian, maybe just looking for, hey, let's do something that we don't normally do, something a little out of the box, or you're looking for a weekend getaway, or maybe you're watching on Circle Country this morning and thinking, I'm coming to Tennessee for a week. What can I do? It's indispensable. Like over 1,500 things to do in our state off the trails. Now, I live on the Jack Trail, which I did not buy my house because of that, but it is very good product placement, I will admit. So.
And all the trails, there are 16 of them by name. I'm on the Ring of Fire Trail out there in rural Robertson County, and there are 1,351 recommended stops on those 16 trails that you will find and can link to with a click of a button at tntrailsandbyways.com. And what I always encourage you to do, if you're thinking about autumn or fall or Thanksgiving, Christmas, the new year, just type that keyword in and hit search, and you're on your way at tntrailsandbyways.com. As I say, take you someplace you didn't even know you wanted to go. tntrailsandbyways.com. Walker Montgomery, sit down.
Hey, I'm already sitting.
Oh, you are?
Me? I just got back from California. I'm going to be sitting for a long time, man. I'll tell you what, I'm tired.
Was it a nonstop?
Oh, my God. We were out there for about 12 days, and it was my second time in California. But yeah, so it's I'm glad to be here, but I got a day off tomorrow, and I'm not doing anything.
So was your flight home nonstop? That's what I was referencing.
It was I had to go through Minneapolis.
Okay,
which is it's all right, but no, I wish it could have been nonstop. But
hey.
Those are the ones that you're just like, how many hours am I going to be on this plane?
Yes. Oh yeah, especially after 12 days, I was ready to get home. To get home to Krista. No, she was ready.
Yeah, for everybody that's watching and listening, Krista, we love her. We know her, part of Tiger Lily Gold.
Krista Slaubaugh.
Yeah. How long have you guys been together?
On December 4th, it'll be a year. So, yeah.
Oh, and the fact that you remember.
Yeah, well, it's a month from today, so that really helps out too. Yeah.
That's awesome. How did it happen? I need the backstory.
Okay.
I'm all excited now.
The circumstances.
All right, so I was doing a show in Kansas City. It was November 16th of last year, and I don't know why I remember that, but with Drew Parker, and these fans came up to the merch stand, and were talking, Tiger Lily Gold, all this stuff, and I'd never met Krista, and but we talked for a minute, and they started walking away. I said, "Well, tell the tall one I'm in love with her." And about 2 weeks later, I guess it got back to her mother, who told her, and then she slid in my DMs. So technically, she made the first move.
Okay.
But I indirectly hit on her from Kansas City, right?
So it sounds like
I love that.
The possible future mother-in-law made the first move.
Well, that is true.
She connected all the dots, right?
That's awesome.
No, but it is a fun. It's a very 2024 story.
That's great.
It gets through the grapevine.
So what's it like with somebody in the music business? Because
it's great.
In the case of your parents, your father was the famous singing star, but your mother was not.
No, very far from it too.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. I'll tell you what. And I didn't know what growing up or getting into the business, I never really thought I'd want to date somebody in the business. Mm-hmm. But our schedules are pretty similar, so, and it's kind of date nights are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it not very busy days for restaurants and stuff, right? So it's good to have the kind of week off, and then we go tour on the weekends and stuff. So it's been great. She's the best.
So have you actually worked shows where you're on the bill and they're on the bill?
We never have.
Okay.
And it is crazy. We were she moved to Nashville, I think, a year earlier than I did, and we had never met each other. In 6 years, essentially. So, never did a show together, never met each other at a bar or whatever it is, we met on God's time is what my mama says.
So have you written together yet?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, because that's a different, the work-life balance thing, you do the same thing, but also you kind of want your stuff to be yours and her stuff to be hers, so it doesn't get all weird.
Well, it's good because we can kind of complain about the same things.
Oh, good.
Right? But when we get home, it's all right, you dealt with the same thing I dealt with today.
Yeah.
So we can kind of get that out of the way, and then we can just live life, right?
So with her North Dakota and your bluegrass of Kentucky, is there ever a moment in time where you go, what did you just say?
Dude.
Can you translate that for me?
She says, what's the saying that she said on our first date? She said a horse apiece. And I looked at her like, what are you talking about? But I guess it's same thing, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah, a horse apiece. And then she laughed at the way I said Montgomery. And I guess, I don't know, I guess I didn't pronounce it entirely or so, I don't know. But there's definitely some, some words. She says bag instead of bag.
Yeah.
And
What about the O's? Home,
it's all the O's and the I's.
Yeah.
But she'll make fun of me. It's good Lord.
In her defense, you do take MONT and make it MUN.
Yes. See, I didn't know
there's
this.
no T.
I just do it the way that Dad does it.
That's right. That's okay.
But,
that's amazing.
But no, she is right on it. I do know that.
So how long before you give up music and become the head coach at the University of Kentucky football program?
Look, the way it's looking, it might be fairly soon, but it look, I love Stoops. I think
he's under a lot of pressure. That's all I know.
Man, he is. And he's a great guy. We know him well. And I don't think he's going to go out on a dud. I don't think this will be his last season. I think
they've just been such an anomaly this year.
It's crazy. We only need to play top 10 teams essentially, because when we play Vandy and Florida and Auburn, we just suck, right? But when we played Tennessee, we lost the game, but it was still, for about 3 quarters, it was a pretty good game. Beat Ole Miss on the road. But no, I love Stoops. He's a great guy, and he can turn it around. But I do think, he's been there for 12, 13 something years, so I do think it's kind of at the end of the Stoops era.
Well, today is opening day of basketball season. That's when it really gets serious.
That is true. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I haven't met Coach Pope yet, but he's definitely won over the fan base in Lexington. So it's going to be exciting to to see. I was ready to get rid of the other guy. So,
Just so you know, Steve Warner is waiting in the wings for the call.
there you go.
Like you for the football team,
There you
Steve Warner
go.
for the
Steve's ready
basketball.
for
There you go.
basketball.
Well, I know you've done the anthem at a bunch of places. In
Yeah,
fact,
I have.
recently, right?
Yeah. We did the Bengals game.
Okay.
And who were they playing? Washington. They were playing Washington Monday Night Football, and it was a great time. You know, I don't get nervous for much. I was nervous for my Opry debut, and I wasn't nervous until I walked out onto the field and I looked up. I was like, oh crap! Like, what have I got
There's a
myself
lot of
into?
people.
Yeah, you know. But like 5 minutes before the game, there was like nobody in the stadium, and then all of a sudden it just filled up. Oh. And yeah, I was a little nervous for that one. But it was still a good experience.
Have you done it at Rupp?
I've done it at Rupp, yeah, a couple times actually.
That's truly the home court.
Oh
right?
yeah. I do like doing it in areas better because there's not
The echo.
The echo.
The slap
Oh, my
back.
God.
Yeah.
We did it at the Kentucky-Tennessee football game. I think I was probably a freshman in college, and that was the most nerve-wracking experience of my life because I didn't have in-ears or anything like that.
No.
So I just went out there and just the Lone Ranger out there singing. But no, it was I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't missed any words yet.
Okay, good.
You know, so I probably will next time. Now that I said that.
Knock on
but-
wood again,
Yeah,
just in
right.
case.
Knock on.
Okay, thank
do
you.
that.
Walker Montgomery is here. So in 1992, the fall of that year, your dad released an album called Life's a Dance.
Yeah.
The title track was the lead single. And then came a song that you recently covered, which came out in 93, is I Love the Way You Love
Yep.
Me.
Yep.
And we're going to watch and listen to that now. Why this choice?
You know, you'll well, in the music video, you'll see some eerily similar outfits and stuff from the original music video, right? But it's always been my favorite song of his, and I think, you know, he was about the age that I am right now when his career started, and he signed with Atlantic Records and stuff back when they were in Nashville. And you know, I Swear I thought was kind of off limits because All for One had done it. Same thing with I Can Love You Like That. And I was trying to find the you know, a massive hit love song that he had but that some younger folks might not know. And it seems like I Love the Way You Love Me was that too. So I've been tricking some younger folks, you know. But at the shows, I'm, you know, if you're under 28, I'm like, I wrote this song. I recorded this song. I released this song. And then I'm like, if you're not in that age group, I just need you to keep your mouth shut for the next couple hours.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And Walker Montgomery is here. He is on his way to Opry Country Classics on Thursday night. You will share the stage with Lori Morgan, the Gatlin brothers. Of course, Larry hosts, and Steve and Rudy, they do the Gatlin's hits and a gospel segment. Stephen Curtis Chapman, it'll be the first time since he was inducted on Friday night to perform as a member of the Grand Ole Opry. And Don Schlitz, who's an Opry member and Country Music Hall of Famer. You're in high cotton, man.
Hey, I'm happy about it. Are you kidding me? And I was talking to my publicist earlier today. It's like, you mean I get to sing Randy Travis songs on the Opry or something like that? I'm like, it's gonna be a fun time.
Well,
know?
for those who weren't there for your Opry debut, you know, one of the cool
Yeah.
things about working an Opry debut is you get to announce someone in the circle for the very first time. But every once in a while, there's something even more special than me
Yeah.
doing it. Who announced you for your Opry
Well,
debut?
we were lucky enough to, of course, Eddie Montgomery Gentry is a member of the Opry, and but we were lucky to get Dad and Eddie to introduce both of us, or both of them to introduce me, and it. I mean, good Lord, I can tear up just thinking about it. It was a special night, definitely. It was going to be a special night no matter what, but to have that and have it on video and all the photos and stuff, it was very. It's something I'll never forget. So we got some really good pictures and stuff from it.
Do you remember the first time you ever went to the Opry? Were you little?
Yeah, we almost set it on fire. It was.
What?
He knows this story. So, we, not really, but like there was some sparks. But so it was Eddie's. I'm sure I was there before, but the first time I remember it was Eddie and Troy's induction.
Okay.
So we had these like sparklers and all these little fireworks and stuff that Eddie, of course, gave us, and so it was my cousin and me, and there's all the sparklers and stuff going on, and we're just throwing them everywhere, right? Because I was in 4th grade or something like that, so I don't know.
June 23rd, 2009.
Yeah, I was just having a good time, right? So we're throwing them and stuff, and then all of a sudden I hear, Walker, Carl, by Mom, and there's a little smoke coming from a bush right there, and she's got her high heels on. She's trying to stomp it out and stuff like that. I'm sure there's I don't know, I guess not a Ring camera, but I'm sure that there's a security camera somewhere that I guarantee you has her yelling at me. But not just at the Opry, probably somewhere else in general. But yeah, that was my first okay, I probably shouldn't be doing this at the Opry right now. Yeah.
Well, Thursday night at Opry Country Classics, and then Friday night you got a free show at 8 o'clock at Barstool Sports downtown.
Yeah.
It's on 2nd Avenue South, and again, it's 8 o'clock, and it's a free show. I was just looking at their menu lineup, just the hot dogs alone, chili cheese dog, then there's the stray dog, the backyard dog, and the best in show dog. So
lots of dogs there.
If you're into hot dogs, they got an incredible menu, though.
Good morning. We are celebrating this morning with a brand new member of the Grand Ole Opry. Congratulations to Stephen Curtis Chapman. He was inducted Friday night, and it was really special because Lady A came out to do the honors. Take a listen.
Stephen, your career in music has spanned over 3 decades, 50 #1 singles, and over 17 million albums sold.
Wow. Your life and stories through song have shown us how to hold on to our family and our faith.
You inspire us with these gifts that God has given you. You encourage us with your integrity and your authentic faith. You radiate a deep love of music and an even deeper love of Jesus every time you step on this circle. Thank you. And now, a member of the Grand Ole Opry, Stephen Curtis Chapman!
Oh, Hillary, she's making me cry. What a special night. So Stephen Curtis Chapman becomes the 4th new member that we've had this year. We had Scotty McCreery, T. Graham Brown, and Lainey Wilson. Congratulations. And he's going to be a part of Opry Country Classics on Thursday night. So if you want to come see, we put him right to work. Yeah. We induct him, and then we're like, all right, now we got you on Thursday night. You're coming back on Saturday. We're going to need you for a 2-show weekend. And
it's Larry, Steve, and Rudy, the Gatlins, Lori Morgan, Walker Montgomery, who was just with us, and the great Opry star and Hall of Famer Don Schlitz.
Very good. Nothing is more fun than watching Luke Bryan try to have a conversation with a 9-year-old, especially when that 9-year-old might know more about tractors than Luke does. So this was on TikTok. It's Jackson. I think his last name is Lau. It's Laux. So Lau, maybe? Yeah. But he has become a viral sensation because he truly is just this old soul in a 9-year-old's body. He's grown up on a farm. His granddaddy farms, his dad farms. He talks about tractors all the time. He knows everything about tractors. Like, think about little boys that know everything about dinosaurs. This kid studied tractors. So he's having a full-on conversation with Luke Bryan on Luke's tour bus. Take a listen.
So you're totally into tractors, right?
Yes.
And totally into John Deere's?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a Fendt?
Yes.
Do you like a Fendt? Oh, goodness. What you like about a Fendt?
They're the wrong color green.
I love it. John Deere's, what's your favorite year of, what's your favorite model John Deere?
Probably a John Deere 3020.
3020?
Probably a John Deere 3020. He said, do you like a Fendt? No, it's the wrong color green. I love this child. Seriously, look him up, watch his videos, because he is the cutest thing. If John Deere doesn't get this kid a sponsorship ASAP, they are missing out. Of course, Luke has a different preference for his tractors, but very, very cute. And I was very happy that they got to hook up. And then Luke goes on to talk about the type of tractors he used to use on his dad's peanut farm. And they talked about how fast they were, and the little boy was like, "Oh yeah, I want to get after it." It's just the cutest. Okay, Willie Nelson, he dropped it. It's a new album, y'all. In case you're keeping track at home, 76th solo studio album. It's called Last Leaf on the Tree. He also overall has done 153 albums total. Now, some of those, collaborations and whatever, but
I
76.
love that album artwork if you're watching on Circle.
It's gorgeous.
That whole leaf on the tree thing with the foliage. It's a Tom Waits song, because I thought maybe it was an original.
Right.
It sounds like the thing that Willie could have written. And I looked it up, and I guess it's been around a while.
Last Leaf on the Tree. It's 13 songs on this album, and some of them are covers, some of them are originals, but it's out now. Well, is it too soon to start talking about Christmas? I say no. And apparently, so does Lee Brice. Lee Brice has dropped a new single and is a take on Jingle Bells. It's called Single Bells. I do believe we have now found the anthem for single people at Christmas. He says, if you're single like me, sing along. It also says, single all night, drinking whiskey, mistletoe tipsy. So,
and somewhere Brett Eldridge is going, doggone you, Lee Brice.
You got to me before I could do it. There it is.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
This Thursday and Friday, November 7th and 8th, it is the final 2 stops on the fall leg of the Good Times, all the Good Times farewell tour of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. And Jeff Hanna sits down this morning to talk about the auspicious beginnings. I said earlier this morning, little did you know in 1966, when this band came together at McCabe's in Long Beach, that it was a life sentence, Jeff.
I've never heard it put quite like that, Bill, but that works for me. Yeah.
So, who was there at the very beginning? Who were the originals in '66?
Well, the 2 guys that are in the band now from then are myself and Jimmy Fadden.
Okay, and who were the others in those days?
Well, when we got our first gig, a fellow named Bruce Kunkel, who was my best friend in high school. Let's see, we got Bruce, Ralph Barr, Les Thompson, Jimmy Fadden. Let's see.
Was Jackson Brown in there?
Well, yeah. This kid named Jackson Brown. He was with us for the first 6 months or so that the band was together, yeah. And then we never had made a record with him. By the time we got a record deal, John McEwen had come in and taken Jackson's place. But it was interesting because he was the first guy I ever met that wrote his own songs. So, which is kind of, it's either inspiring or totally depressing when you meet a guy that wrote a song like These Days when he's 16 years old.
Wow.
It's like, why bother? We used to go, let Jackson do it. and we recorded like a half a dozen songs of his on our first couple of records. So, he was a good source of material as well.
And who came up with the name?
Oh, gosh, it's kind of mostly my fault, I'm afraid.
Because you were the jug band in the early days, right?
We were jug band in high school. My aforementioned friend, Bruce Kunkel, he and I had a jug band in high school called the Illegitimate Jug Band because we didn't have a jug. So, and that carried over right out of high school. I met Les, and I knew Jackson already, Jimmy Fadden, Ralph Barr. And we, just sitting around wasting time between classes at Long Beach City College. I think it's community college now. But, I got through almost a semester there. And then we actually entered a talent show at this club called The Paradox in Orange, California, in Orange County. And we won, which, was the first time we got paid in anything aside from pizza. And
what was the pay? Do you remember?
Sorry?
What was the pay?
The pay? Oh, gosh, it was probably the door. We probably put about $10-15 a piece in our pockets.
Nice.
Hey, there is a time in your life, though, when being paid with food is not a bad thing because you could be hungry the rest of the day.
Well, the home run was you got pizza and money.
There you go.
So it was fantastic.
Right, yeah.
So I'm curious, was there anybody else in that competition that went on to have success that you know of?
No, I don't. No. I mean, it could have been. You never know. It was like The Voice without being The Voice, or an Americana. It was it was actually nothing like any of that. But it was a competition. It was really fun, and we got a record deal and made our first. We had a song called "Buy for Me the Rain" that was a pop hit in '67. And continued the jug band thing for a couple of years more. Then we kind of scattered to the winds for about 7 months at the beginning of '69. I went off and started playing in Linda Ronstadt's band, which was great. And great training for what the Dirt Band's sort of next phase was, which was California country rock, along with Poco and the Burrito Brothers. And that's it. That was kind of...
What a scene.
The Troubadour in L.A. was so cool,
Oh, I remember the first time I heard Different Drum, and I'm like, wow, this is a special song here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and written by the late, great Michael Nesmith, too. Yeah, Linda's voice, I mean, she's one of the great voices
I was just telling Charlie and Kelly off the air a minute ago, speaking of Michael Nesmith, So the other day, I'm riding along, and I hear this version of some of Shelley's blues that I only knew from you guys.
Right.
I knew he wrote it,
Right.
but I only knew your version. I thought, who is this? So I hit my phone, search for song. It was the Monkees' original version of some of Shelley's blues.
Wow. And did Michael sing lead on it?
Yes, he did.
He
He must have, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a great song. I mean, that was the when we sort of reconfigured the band. It was John McEwen, Les Thompson, Jimmy Fadden, and myself, and we met this kid named Jimmy Ibbotson, who we wanted excuse me, we wanted a singing drummer. You know, Poco had a singing drummer, of course. Levon Helm in the band, one of our idols. Those guys were so great. And a mutual friend of ours introduced us to him. The first song I brought in for us to work up was some of Shelley's Blues, because I had sung it with Linda for the last half a year. And I thought, what a cool tune. So
Yeah.
we got lucky on that.
How about that? So you wanted to give us the backstory as we go to modern day romance on the struggling songwriter Kix Brooks and how this song got to you guys.
Well, we were doing our second record for Warner Brothers. Our producers, Paul Worley and Marshall Morgan, were bringing in tunes all the time. The guys in the band always wrote songs, but we also were smart enough to listen to outside material, especially if you can make it your own, as it were. And we heard this tune, Modern Day Romance, and this guy, Kix Brooks, had written the song with our friend Dan Tyler. And I just thought, I was real happy to get my hands on it, because when the Dirt Band was on the pop side of the dial, I sang all the hits. And when we slid over into the country lane, Jimmy Ibbotson, he and I always shared vocals in the band. The first 4 singles, I think Ibby was singing lead, and I think I could do that one. You know, I have some experience as a radio type vocalist. And so Modern Day Romance became a #1 record for us, and I'm grateful to Kix to this day. We were hanging at his house a couple of years ago, and he said, I want to show you something. And when up in his garage, doors opens, and there's this beautiful Corvette, vintage Corvette. He said, thank you. Modern Day Romance, buddy.
Oh.
The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Thursday and Friday of this week at the Ryman Auditorium. All the good times. It's the farewell tour, and this will be the last couple of nights in 2024. It picks up in February. How sharp are these guys after 68 years together? February in Florida. They pick up with Clearwater, Orlando, and what's the other date I saw them in? Jacksonville.
That's smart.
Wow.
That's very smart. And it's even smarter that you have an opening act that you really like.
Oh, this week, you mean?
This week.
Oh, we do, yeah. Thursday, the Missus.
One of them he liked so much he married her.
I did.
Big fan. Big fan.
I did. Big fan. Let's get married.
How did you guys meet?
Sorry?
How did you guys meet?
Oh, gosh. Well, how did we meet? Well, it's funny. She was married to this other guy, a friend of mine.
Oh.
And I was married to someone else as well. And we ran into each other a couple social situations and really didn't hit it off at all. I mean, seriously. And a couple of years went by, and she split up. Her marriage imploded, and mine did as well. And we had all these friends that were like kind of trying to set us up. And it was not, I think the response from both sides was, you know.
Really?
She was kind of like,
thanks, but no thanks.
Just kind of, I mean, you know, it wasn't like, I mean, she's beautiful and talented. It was more like, she's kind of stuck up. You know, that was sort of my, and come to find out she was more shy than you know, conceited. And, you know, and then she had her publisher, Pat, said, Jeff, he's like, you don't want to hang out with these ladies, man, you know.
Oh.
And I know, I mean, this is the bad vibes. And then we had a bunch of other friends going, oh, you guys, you know. And finally, Miss Carlene Carter kind of set us up. She pulled each of us aside at different times and said, oh, Jeff, come on. I'm telling you, that Matrace, she's so cool. and she got, and you know, it was, anyhow. So we started, but we became friends, which was great. We'd go out to lunch. We wrote songs together, all this, no romance until there was, and then boom.
And then it was a modern day romance.
It was a modern day romance.
There you go.
No old-fashioned pain though. And that was it.
awesome.
Yeah, that was December of '91. We've been together ever since.
And she's a part of a trio.
Yeah.
That are your special guests on the Thursday night show.
That's right, Wine, Women, and Song, which is the esteemed Susie Boggess, Gretchen Peters, and Matresa Berg. And they rarely play together, and they toured Europe and the UK a bunch. But because their careers are so sort of disparate in the States, they don't often get together. And I'm so happy that they agreed to do this.
And then on Friday, it's Kathleen Edwards, right?
It's Kathleen Edwards, yes, who's an amazing singer-songwriter, also from Canada, I might add. I've just been Matresa and I are huge fans of hers, and she's terrific. And yeah, she'll be opening up. And we have some secret surprises because it's Nashville, you know.
Yes, I was thinking the guest list is probably growing as we speak.
You know, the Ryman is special under any circumstances. I mean, even sound check when that sun is coming through the stained glass is almost spiritual, right? But do you think when you get near the end of Friday's show that the emotion of playing that place, maybe for the final time, certainly on this tour for the final time, right, will hit?
Yeah, it is. It's such a remarkable place, and it's hands down my favorite place in the world to see and hear music. It's so special. There's not a bad seat in the house. You know the deal. Mm-hmm. Sounds terrific, looks great, and all that, you know, there's all that, you could call them famous ghosts, you know, all that great vibes. In the Mother Church, it's so wonderful. We just love it. Yeah, I think it'll probably hit us. It's always, you know, just standing on that stage. I think believe it or not, the first time the Dirt Band, aside from an Opry appearance years ago, appeared as headliners at the Ryman was in 2015. So this will be our third time playing the Ryman as a band. Now, we've all been on that stage in various incarnations. Matresa opened up for Jason Isbell a few weeks back.
Oh, yeah.
And my son Jamie, who's been a Dirt Band member for a few years now, and Ross Holmes, who's also from our band, the three of us were Matresa's band that night. So, you know, any opportunity to stand on that stage and, you know, tap dance, clog.
In your 58th year, I believe you did a PBS television special when it was the 50th anniversary that was at the Ryman.
Yeah, it was called Circling Back. Yeah, we filmed that in September of 9 years ago, September of 15, it was a great night. Jackson Brown, the late great John Prine, and Jerry Jeff Walker, Allison Krauss was there, Vince Gill was there, Sam Bush, Jerry Douglas. I mean, it was a blast.
So at the end of each tour year, now that you're at 58, do you just take each year, or have you somewhere back in the past go, hey, let's shoot for 60 and call it quits?
Never, ever in the history of humanity had we dreamt that we would get to 60 years as a band. I mean, it's great to get to 60 years as a human, you know.
Especially if you're in a band.
Especially in a band. Danger, danger, danger.
Well, wouldn't Mick Jagger famously say, I won't be singing Satisfaction at 50, and he's 82.
100%. You gotta watch what you think, the wisdom you think you had in your 20s, especially. Oh no, we're so grateful. I mean, I think the first wave of that, when we hit the 20-year mark, we were like, golly, you know, most bands, if they're lucky, last 5, 6 years, maybe 10. But you know, here we are, still doing it, and it's the best job in the world. Super cool.
And when you hit that guitar kick off to Fishing in the Dark, the place just is electric. And Wendy Waldman and Jim Photoglow, am I right?
Jim Photoglow, who plays in our band as well.
Right,
now.
I thought so.
Yeah. Jimmy, yeah.
And how did that song get to you guys? They pitched it to you first?
No, actually, you know, Ed Bruce had the first version of that song.
No way.
Yep. And I think it was kind of a mid-chart record. So I wasn't even aware of that until after we'd recorded it. But our producer, Josh Leo, came over to the house, I remember, and said, look, I got this song, and it's so made for you guys. And put on the demo with Jim singing, and it just, play it again. the cassette. You know, play it again. Let's get some beer. Play it again. You know, like 6 hours went by, and it was like, okay. You know, twist our arms. And Jimmy Ibbotson sang lead on it's funny, this is something we used to do a lot. He sang lead on the verses, I sang lead on the choruses. But that song, it was #1 for a week here in the States, and it's way bigger now than it was in '87 when it went to #1. It's crazy. It's the gift that keeps on giving, you know. I love that.
Kelly, invite them over, if you would, for this Thursday and Friday.
Yeah. Are you going to come? You going to be there, everybody?
I think I'll be there.
Thursday, Ryman Auditorium, 7:30 is what we decided.
Yep,
That's when we're going to get started. Get in
Mm-hmm.
early, get your seats. Everybody get comfortable, and then Friday night as well. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
And Kelly Sutton's wrap-up entertainment this morning on the anniversary, let's see, 9 years ago, 2015. It was the 49th edition of the CMA Awards, which this year are Wednesday, November 20th, Bridgestone Arena. But it was the 49th edition at Bridgestone. Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley were your hosts. It was their 8th year. Luke Bryan, he won the entertainer that night. Miranda Lambert was female. Chris Stapleton was the new artist. Mm-hmm. I
think he was also the male vocalist, was he not? Did he not win both?
He was the new artist and male vocalist and album of the year with Traveler.
Yeah.
That night in 2015. Little Big Town vocal group and single of the year for Girl Crush. And the music video went to Maddie and Tay for Girl in a Country Song.
I love those
So
girls.
CMA memories from 9 years ago tonight.
Yeah, that's going to happen on November 20th this year. So we pushed it back. It usually happens this week.
Oh, shoot. Just do it on Thanksgiving Day.
I mean,
keep pushing it back. Christmas Day next year.
I can tell you most of my birthdays, I have been working a red carpet of some sort, whether it be BMI Awards, ASCAP Awards, CSAC Awards, or CMA Awards.
They're all seasonal this time of year.
And they all happen butted up against each other. So, yeah, some point, I was usually on a red carpet.
Well, as we've determined, this is your birthday month.
It is my birthday month.
So it does open up the playing field
Correct.
for conflicts.
Well,
that's right. That's right.
The original CMA Awards were in Country Music Month, which is October. We've now managed to move it nearly out of November.
I honestly think it got pushed back. First time was because of 9/11. Because I remember that was my first year being in town. First CMA Awards, had the dress ready to go, and they moved everything on us. So I think that was it. I don't remember. All right, let's talk about what's been going on in the lives of all of our country friends, including Jelly Roll. Just made his debut at ACL, that is Austin City Limits. Man, he's been checking all the things off of his bucket list, and he's so funny to watch on socials. If you're not following Jelly Roll, you need to. He goes and does these pickup basketball games, and he's just very, very funny. But he was there. It's PBS's Austin City Limits. It happened on Saturday. He did 6 songs, including I Am Not Okay, and his chart-topping hits, Save Me and Need a Favor. He was also there with our friends, Warren Treaty. So it was a very special night for everybody. That was Austin City Limits. If you want to check it out on YouTube. They have his performance of I Am Not Okay is already posted on Austin City Limits YouTube page. All right, we're talking about Casey Musgraves telling us about an Irish goodbye. Now, I'm familiar with this. Were you guys familiar with the term Irish goodbye?
Not until you explained it.
No, but I've done it for years, didn't know what I was doing.
Trendsetter. That's you. That's what you are.
I knew it had to be. I knew it was
Charlie
something.
thought it was a Portuguese goodbye.
I knew it was something.
Could be.
A lot of kissing involved if you don't do it this way and with the Portuguese goodbyes.
The Midwest goodbye is, all right, well, we're going to go, and you go to the door, then you go back, and then you get more leftovers, and then they give you something in a Tupperware bowl, and then you're going to leave again, and then you sit down, and then you finally slap your leg and say, well, I better get on up the pike. That's the Midwest goodbye. Irish goodbye, you just slip out. You don't even say goodbye to anybody. You're just out the back door. Well, Casey Musgraves just did an interview. It was very funny with one of our friends, Cindy Watts. She's at American Songwriter Magazine, and she has a song. Casey Musgraves has a song called Irish Goodbye. She said, Irish Goodbye, I'm a fan of it, except for when you're in a relationship. Listen to the song.
To forgive your Irish goodbye.
There you go.
So she would prefer me text her that we're breaking up.
She needs some closure, people. You can't dip on somebody if you're in a relationship.
Charlie,
you got to have some kind of goodbye.
Remember, we had a colleague who was broken up with via text.
Yes. Did we not have someone who got divorced via fax? Back in the
Yes,
back
we
when the
did.
fax
What?
was actually something people still used.
Yes.
Who got divorced via fax?
Shh.
Oh, okay. You'll tell me off the air.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have fax
Someone,
machines
so-
anymore.
oh,
Fax machine isn't hooked up anymore.
It wasn't the same person, was it?
Nice try,
Something
Paul.
tells me it was the same person.
I think it was.
I think it was too.
They got broken up with through a fax, or no, they got broken up with through a text and then divorced through a fax.
Yeah. But
Was it
two-
a real
two-
relationship?
Two different people. The divorce came first, and then
Did they get married over Zoom? What happened? This feels really fake to me. I don't know.
She is since happily married.
Oh, good.
It did have a happy ending.
Oh my gosh. Hey, coming up tomorrow, I've got more entertainment headlines, including Ricky Skaggs' Christmas. He's going to be doing some Christmas dates, and we've got all the details tomorrow.
And the cast of Shucked is coming to see us tomorrow. Brandy Clark and of course Shane McAnally. They were they wrote the musical that's coming to Nashville this week. And for those of you on the television side, as you watch on Circle Country, we'll have Jeff Hanna. We'll share that again with you as they get ready for that big farewell celebration at the Ryman Auditorium. That's a couple of nights, Thursday and Friday of this week at the Ryman Auditorium. And then it'll wrap up the farewell tour for 2024. More dates in 2025 as they roll on.